What's going on, you guys? Mr. Allen here. We're about to do some non-right triangle trig. So here we have solve for all missing sides and angles in triangle ABC. I've got two angles and I've got a side. How about we draw up a triangle and see what this thing looks like? All right. Now, I know that angle C is 98 degrees, so it's going to be an obtuse angle. So perhaps I'll draw a triangle that has a slightly larger than 90 degrees. I'll go ahead and label this C. How about we call this one B over here, and then this guy will be A. All right. How you draw it is really up to you. I'm going to try to draw it somewhat to scale. So we've got 98 degrees up here. That's my angle. I've got 45 degrees down here. That would be the angle for B. And then across from B, I've got 20 inches. So when I'm deciding what to use to solve this problem between law of sines and law of cosines, I'm always going to look to use law of sines first. It's the simpler formula. Now, right now I have an angle, and a side, so that's good. If it's angle, side, I have to look out for the two triangle situation, but for angle, side, I don't. I have an angle and a side across from each other, which means I can have a completed ratio of my super proportion from law of sines. So let's go ahead and write that up. So I don't really need to write up the whole triple proportion, but I will do the stuff that I do know. So I know sine of B, I know B is going to be 45 degrees divided by the 20, which is my side length across from it, equals, and then I have sine of C, so sine of 98 degrees divided by, which would be little c here, we got little a over here, so that'd be little c, right? That's my side length. So now I can cross multiply and solve. I'm going to have 20 times the sine of 98 degrees equals c times the sine of 45 degrees. All right. From here, I know that sine of 45 is just some number, right? So I can actually evaluate that one. We don't have to do that here. Okay. So I'm going to divide by sine of 45 degrees and divide by sine of 45 degrees. And now I'm going to put this entire mess into my calculator to give me c. So let's do that. So I've got 20. All right. So 20 times the sine of 98. So times sine of 98. Boom. Close my parentheses. I can either hit enter or I can divide by sine of 45 right now. I'll hit enter. I'm going to divide by, I'm getting a negative answer for that? That seems weird. How about this? Check this out, guys. Ready? Mode. Oh, bro, I got radian mode. Classic mistake. I'm going to leave it in here. Because sometimes that happens, man. My calculator ran out of batteries or replaced them. Maybe I borrowed someone's calculator because I wasn't strapped up, right? It always defaults to radian mode. So I got to go to degree mode because I'm working with degrees. All right, so I'm into here in degree mode. I'm good now. I'm going to quit out. Now, what I'm going to have to do is I'm actually have to clear that. I'm going to have to recalculate. Hit enter. Boom. Now it does it, right? 19.8. I knew something was up, man. I knew something was up. All right. Now I'm going to divide by sine of 45. So sine, and then we got 45. So 45. Close my parentheses. Hit enter. And boom, I've got C. That is my side length, 28.009 and change. So 28.009, 28.009 and change. I put my dots. Saying, hey, man, that thing goes on forever. I don't even know where it ends. It might not even end. But I got enough information here, okay? So in my triangle, when I solve this, let's say we're going to do two decimal places for these. I'll have 28.01. Okay, that 0 got rounded up by that 9. So now I have C. Could we perhaps figure out what the measure of angle A is as well? Yeah, actually, I can do that pretty easily, right? And if we don't want to do this in our heads, that's fine. I'm going to add my two angles together, 98 plus 45, and then I'm going to do 180 minus that, right? So we've got 143 for that. I can do 180 so that I have it in my calculator here. 180 minus, and what I can do is I can actually arrow up, select that, hit enter. It copies it down for me. So that was like a really terrible number that happens in some of these problems. I can arrow up and copy it down. Hit enter, we've got 37, right? Probably could have done that in our heads, but we're going to be using our calculators a lot, so why not have it there? So we get 37 on the dot for A. Perhaps I'll make those different colors. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and solve for side A, right? We know that angle across it, we can work with that, right? So I'm going to use the original stuff from B and B. So I'm going to have the sine of 45 again over 20 equals, and then I'm going to have the sine of A, which is 37. I'm going to divide that by side A. So really the math is going to be about the same here with a different angle measure. So let's type that in our TI-84 plus. All right, there we have it. We've got 17.021. 17.021. A equals 17.021. So if I round that to the nearest tenth, I've got 17.02. Do I have all missing parts? I've got my 3 things that I solved for. I have now solved this triangle. That is what it's asking for. I am done. Boom, baby. That's awesome. That is so awesome. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. America, freedom, rock and roll, Costco, River Dog, Jenny on the gram. See you later. And yo, bro. Don't forget yo, especially in these problems. See ya.